Hello, my pretties. Welcome to episode 181 of Shadows and Pretties. Today, um, we're gonna be looking at this 1978, dark movie called Watership Down. This one came out in 1978, and the directors are like Martin Rosen and John Hubely. This is based on the novel Watership Down. So I've never read the book, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and review the movie for this, series, because I haven't done a review for those series yet. So I guess with that being said, I think we should just go ahead and, get started with this. So this movie basically begins in Lapin language. Mythology in the world was created by the god Firth. All animals were grass eaters living harmoniously. The rabbits multiplied, and their appetite led to a food shortage. So Firth ordered the rabbit prince, Elihara, to control his people, but he was scoffed at the retaliation. Firth then gave his special gifts to every animal, making some into predators to hunt the rabbits. Satisfied that El Harada was learned his lesson, Frith gives the rabbits the gifts of speed and cunning. In present, in a warren and near Sandalford, a rabbit seer named Fievel has a apocalyptic vision and takes his older brother Hazel to beg the chief for evacuation. The chief dismisses them and orders Captain Holly, the head of the Warren's Olisa police force, to stop those trying to leave. Fiver and Hazel, so along with the other rabbits named Bigwig and Blackberry, Berry, Pipkin, Dandelion, Silver, and Violet, manage to escape, pass it by a sign meaningless to them, confirming that a residential area development was coming. The journey through the woods, while avoiding several dangerous situations, until Violet, the group's only doe, gets killed by a hawk. The others eventually meet the rabbit named Cowslip, who then invites them to his warren, where a farmer leaves Cowslip's group ample vegetables. They are grateful, but Fiver leaves when he senses something unsettling in the atmosphere. Bigwig then follows and Burharing Fiver for causing tension with a snare catches a Bigwig. Bigwig's friends manage to free him, and Fiver learns that the farmer is protecting Dane and his feeding Cowslip's warren so that he could snare rabbits for his own meals. So the group returns to its journey. The rabbits discover the Nuthanger farm, which contains a hutch of domestical does. Before they could free the females, the farm cat and dog chases them away. They are later found by Captain Holly, who recounts the destruction of Sandalford by the humans as well as vicious rabbits called Ifarafrons. Fiver eventually finds the hill while envisioned Watership Down, where the group then settles in with Hazel as their new chief. So they soon befriended with an injured black-headed seagull named Kihar, who flies out in search for does. That night, the rabbits return to Nuthanger Farm to free the does, but an attempt to free them fails, which ends up with Hazel getting shot. Fiver then follows a vision with a mythical black rabbit to his injured brother, and Kihar returns and, while pecking out the buckshot from Hazel's leg with his beak, reports that the many doe at the large Ephraim Warren and Captain Holly describes it as dangerous totalitarian state. So Hazel must go there. Bigwig infuriates the warden by making its Alwasa officer by the cruel chief, General Woundwort. Bigwig then recruits several potential escapes to his own cause, including Blackwar and many others. With Kihar's help, they find the boat, and float down to the river at night, but Kihar leaves for his homeland with the gratitude of the Warren. The Ephraim on trackers eventually find Watership Down, and Woundwort rejects Hazel's offer of peace and demands that all must be turned over to Watership Down will be wiped out, while Watership rabbits barricade the warren. Fiver then slips into a trance, which he envisions a dog running loose in the woods, with his mumblings to inspire Hazel to try and release the farm dog and lead it to the Ephrons. When they arrive at the farm, Hazel then unties the dog and releases it into Blackberry, Dandelion, and they use themselves as bait to make sure the animal follows them. Meanwhile, the Ephrons then break through the Warren's defenses. Woundwort then goes alone. Bacalar then attacks, but he gets easily killed by Bigwig in the bushes. Well, Bigwig did not kill him. I do apologize because I haven't watched this movie in like forever. Bigwig then ambushes Woundwort and they have a fight to the standstill. When the dog arrives and starts attacking them, Woundwort abandons Bigwig and furiously attacks the dog. However, due to the trance of Woundwort is never found, which leaves his fate a mystery. Eventually, several years later, an elderly Hazel is visited by a strange ghostly rabbit who invites him to join his own Oswa, assuring him that Watership Down's perpetual safety. But reassured that Hazel accepts this and dies peacefully, his spirit still follows the visitor through the woodlands, trees towards the sun, which metamorphoses into Frilf, and then in the afterlife, as Frilf's parting advice to Elroz has been heard once more, and thus that the movie ends. I really do find this movie to be, a really great story, and it does have a really awesome concept for this movie. Now, I definitely really like how, this movie was, and developed and all that. I mean, I really do like that this is based on the book. Now, in the book, it's the adaptation, but however, though, there is like a couple of stories besides that. So, this was released on VHS, and eventually on DVD. But however, though, I could definitely say that, for a movie that was made in the UK, I honestly really do like how this went on. However, the book Watership Down, however, there was an adventure novel and it was written by Richard Adams. So, and it was published in November of 1972. So, basically, the plot of it, there is, there's plot summary, which has been split into, 4 parts, including the epilogue, which, there was a lot of differences into that. When I watched the movie for the first time as a kid, I realized how dark and disturbing at times that this movie was. Like, I've seen a couple dark movies before. Like, a lot of kids' movies or cartoons that are dark like to, put dark themes into it because they honestly just want to, see how kids react. Now, I know Disney has done a lot of dark movies in the past. Like, take a look at The Fox and the Hound. Take a look at, Tarzan. All those movies had dark themes into it, but eventually they were managed to do that in a kid-friendly way to make it, a G rating, or PG at least. So, with that being the case, I do recommend this movie. Most of my friends and followers who have seen this movie will probably know how dark and disturbing this movie is. Like, I've seen parts of this movie that honestly made me, honestly surprised of how dark they were able to get away with it. Like, for an example, when, how graphic the deaths are. I'm surprised that, well, it's the 1970s, so, movies were dark around that time. But this is like a super old movie. It honestly is like over 40 years old. I still enjoy this movie regardless, especially with the concept and everything like that. I do think that, this story could use, a little bit more added to it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure maybe some kids who were to see it now, they'll probably either get traumatized or probably will see, why this movie was so dark. And some people probably wouldn't watch this movie because of that reason, because it's a dark movie, which, I wouldn't blame them if that's the case, because, well, I've seen dark movies before, and messed up ones, in fact, but, it is what it is, because, this is it's an awesome movie. I do recommend it. The acting's got great actors. It's got great actors. I like the Fiver character. I think he's a pretty interesting character for, for the movie itself. And I do like the plot. I think it's pretty neat based on the book. Now I would go through the entire book, but I have not read the book yet, so yeah, I can't really say too much about the book because I've not read the book myself, so I can't really, say much about it. But I definitely have to say I recommend you check out this book if you haven't. You will not be disappointed by it all. So I guess with that being the case, that being said, I'm gonna sit here and just say, this is just my own opinion. And if you disagree with me, that's fine too, as we're all entitled to our own opinions. I mean, most of you guys who have seen this movie, maybe you guys might have, your own opinions in that. And I do apologize if I, you know, missaid somebody's name in this story, incorrectly. It's because when I'm trying to, when I haven't seen a movie in a while, it does kind of make my mind fuzzy because, one of them being I have not seen this movie in a long time. And I do think that it's actually pretty good. So, anyways, despite that, I'm gonna sit here and say, what did you guys think about this, movie? Did you enjoy it? Do you like the book more? Do you like them both? Did you not like them? And also, what we have done personally to help make it a lot better. Feel free to leave me your thoughts down in the comments below, because I like to hear what you guys think. And yeah, I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. If you're new to my channel, like, comments, and subscribe, because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace out, and as always, I'll see you all later.